and Sarah.
Welcome to Newshour at 9. I'm Madhavdas GK. The top focus story is a story that has shocked India. Now, what would you make of a man who stores ice cream and cold drinks along with dead body parts in a fridge? The butchery of Shraddha by her alleged lover Aftab has stunned not only the national capital but the whole of India. The chilling details of the Ghoulish act are still unraveling. There's a trail of grisly details that will make your blood curdle. Inside track of the probe details, how Aftab not only chopped Shraddha's body with a 1.5-foot cleaver, he minced her internal organs and disposed of it first. He dumped the severed head and other body parts towards the end of this 18-day criminal plan to dispose the body. He didn't stop at this. He also had another girl in the same apartment when Shraddha's body was stuffed inside this fridge. A bereaved father of Shraddha has hinted at a religious motive behind the murder. He details in the FIR that the relationship was unacceptable to them because Aftab was from a different religion. Listen in to what he said to Times Now.
कब बात हुई थी आप लोग की लास्ट और इस आफ्ताब पे शक कब हुआ आप लोग को?
हम लोग को शक तो मतलब उनके श्रद्धा के दोस्त है, उन्होंने इन्फॉर्म किया कि श्रद्धा कुछ मीटिंग का मुझे लग रहा था जी। ये उन्होंने बताया कुछ अगस्त में। हाँ, तब हम लोग फिर कंप्लेंट करने गए थे वैसे पुलिस, हमारे लोकल पुलिस में। इसको बताया
मतलब फैमिली को बताया था कि मदर को बताया था कि मार्केट कर रहा था आफ्ताब मेरे साथ और इस टाइप की चीजें।
मार्च
तो पिटाई मतलब
हाँ, वो माँ से वो लड़की ने मेरे बताया कि वो हम लोग शायद सेपरेट रहेंगे, ये मुझे मारता है तो हम लोग शायद ब्रेकअप करने वाले हैं, ऐसा कुछ। मुझे उसके माँ ने बताया कि जून में आई थी मेरे पास। एक्चुअली जब भी उसने डिक्लेयर किया कि श्रद्धा इज नो मोर, तब मैं इतना कंडीशन में नहीं था सुनने के।
मस्त सर
तभी जब भी बॉम्बे में वो जॉब करने लगी तभी उसकी मुलाकात किया आफ्ताब से हुई। उसी कंपनी में वो भी काम कर रहा है जी।
तो रिलीजन के कारण या उसके कंडक्ट के कारण कुछ आप लोग को लगा लड़का खराब है, क्यों नहीं किया? रिलीजन बहुत बड़ा इशू और
नहीं, फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन तो वही था मेरा कि रिलीजन तो हम लोग इतना वो ये नहीं करते हो। मैं और मेरी वाइफ गई थी और मेरे सिस्टर भी गई थी, तो उसने हम लोग से उल्टा सवाल करने चालू किया।
Such was the toxicity in the relationship that Shraddha feared for her life. Her friends claimed that she was scared of Aftab and often confided in them that one day she might be murdered at the hands of Aftab. Listen in.
वो 2018 के बाद से ही उसके मान लीजिए कि व्यक्तित्व में परिवर्तन आने दिखने लगा था हम लोगों को। तो उसके पीछे का कारण कहीं ना कहीं शायद आफ्ताब का आना था। 2019 में खैर हमको पता चला है कि आफ्ताब के साथ रिलेशनशिप में है। श्रद्धा ने मैसेज किया था अपने बचपन के दोस्त को, लक्ष्मण को, कि वो आफ्ताब से बहुत बुरी तरीके से डरने लगी है। उसको ऐसा लगता है कि आफ्ताब शायद उसकी जान भी ले सकता है। मतलब वो एक रात थी जब मैसेज किया था कि प्लीज़ मुझे यहाँ से रेस्क्यू करो, नहीं तो फिर हो सकता है कि आज रात मेरी आखिरी रात हो। क्योंकि वो डैड के साथ ऑलरेडी कनेक्टेड नहीं थी, मॉम के साथ मॉम अब रही नहीं इस दुनिया में। तो मेरे ख्याल से वो एक सिचुएशन आ गया था जो वाकई में वल्नरेबल हो चुकी थी वो, और इस वल्नरेबिलिटी का कहीं ना कहीं फ़ायदा उठाया होगा शायद मेरे ख्याल से आफ्ताब ने, क्योंकि आफ्ताब एट दी एंड अब वो लवर नहीं बल्कि क्रिमिनल बन के जो दिख के आ रहा है दुनिया को। तो ये समझ में आता है कि उसका जो रियल मोटिव था वो लव था ही नहीं।
So that is when it became a point of concern for me कि I should actually start reaching out to people, and आज कोई मुझे अपडेट नहीं मिला तो फाइनली मैंने उनके ब्रदर को बता दिया कांटेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहा है, सो इट्स बेटर दैट वी रीच आउट टू कॉप्स एंड सीक फॉर देयर हेल्प करके बोला कि प्लीज यहाँ मेरे घर पे आ जा, मुझे बाहर लेके जा, अगर आज रात को मैं इसके साथ घर पे रही तो ये मुझे मार डालेगा। ऐसा भी झगड़ा हुआ है उनके बीच में और हम दोस्तों ने मिलके उसको उसके घर से उस दिन बाहर भी निकाला था और आफ्ताब को वार्निंग भी दी थी।
All right, and the political cloud that has engulfed the butchery, with BJP alleging a larger conspiracy behind the murder. From Delhi to Mumbai, there are protests alleging a religious motive behind the Mehrauli murder. Listen in.
ये एक षड्यंत्र है। भारत में गैर मुस्लिम लड़कियों को, हिंदू की लड़कियों को अपने फांस में जब लाना, चाहे प्यार मोहब्बत, चाहे वेशभूषा बदल करके, और फिर अगर धर्म नहीं स्वीकारा तो उसकी यही हालत होती है। न राहुल गांधी बोलेंगे, अन्य जिन्ना के रास्ते पर चलने वाले ओवैसी बोलेंगे।
ये भी दिखाता है कि ये क्रिमिनल माइंडेड इंसान जो है वो हो सकता है कि दूसरे भी महिला के साथ कुछ हो सकता था, पर मैं तो ये कहूंगी कि ऐसे केसेस जो है फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट पे चलाना चाहिए और तुरंत ऐसे लोगों को समाज में से प्रिजन के अंदर होना चाहिए और ऐसे लोगों को फांसी की सजा मिलनी चाहिए, ताकि कोई और दोबारा ऐसे कोई क्राइम करने के बारे में सोचे भी नहीं।
इसे मर्डर केस करके इस मामले को देख करके नहीं चलेगा, क्योंकि जिस प्रकार के पुरजोर तरीके से सबूत सामने आ रहे हैं, वे सबूत अपने आप में सुनिश्चित करते हैं कि इसमें दिल्ली पुलिस के द्वारा लव जिहाद का क्या एंगल है। इसकी भी जांच दिल्ली पुलिस के द्वारा हो, यह आवश्यक है। इसलिए दिल्ली पुलिस से हम मांग करते हैं कि इसके पीछे कोई एक व्यक्ति नहीं हो सकता, इसके पीछे कौन सा ग्रुप है, कौन सी गैंग है।
Taking a look at the ecosystem, Union Minister for Women and Child Development has said that she won't indulge in politics but will ensure speedy justice to Shraddha. Listen in.
दिल्ली में घटी, उसको लेकर अब सारे लोग शांत बैठे हुए हैं, उसको लेकर
मैं देखिए इतनी अमानवीय बातें नहीं करूंगी कि एक घटना का दूसरे घटना से कहीं कंपैरिजन करूं। हर जीवन का अपना एक मोल होता है, हर जीवन के प्रति एक सम्मान होना चाहिए। मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहूंगी कि राष्ट्र में हर बेटी सुरक्षित रहे, राष्ट्र में हर बेटी समृद्धि के पथ पर चले, और अगर कोई ऐसी चुनौती आती है जो इस केस में आई तो न्याय पूर्णतः होना चाहिए।
न्याय होगा, आपको लगता है? बिल्कुल न्याय होना चाहिए।
निश्चित रूप से न्यायपालिका अगर एविडेंस के आधार पर न्याय करेगी तो निश्चित रूप से होगा।
This brings me to the legitimate question we're asking this evening. Was it a murder that was planned and not spontaneous? All right, and we have some breaking details coming in. This is the latest as far as Aftab's confession to the police is concerned. These are what the top Delhi police sources are telling Times Now, that he was planning to kill her a week before the murder but somehow held himself back. Aftab was also detailed how he tried to create a smoke screen. He created an illusion that Shraddha is still alive and kept her social media accounts working. Aftab has also given a crime of passion defense, saying that they fought often as I spoke to somebody else. Three very important aspects of this investigation coming in, Priyank. Who is this someone else that Aftab was talking to? And if there was indeed a murderous thought that he was nurturing a week earlier, does the crime of passion argument still hold?
See, Madhav, he has been making stories since the time he has been arrested. In fact, a few months before he was arrested by the Delhi police, when Maharashtra police questioned him regarding missing Shraddha, he managed to befool them and he told them that he is not aware that where exactly she is. Later to that, the case was transferred to Delhi police, and soon after he was arrested, he confessed the crime. But the fact of the matter is that he was also getting in touch with the other women through various, dating apps on social media platform. But what we have, what is most worrying in this case right now is that the Delhi police has also come to a roadblock ahead, because today, after the searches which was carried out, they could not find any of the further remains of the body apart from the 12 pieces of the bones which were suspected to be Shraddha's bone, which were found 72 hours back. These samples will be sent for forensic examination, following to which a joint CP rank officer from the range is also present at the police station. She is taking care of the case from now further. And there is a high-level meeting which is happening where all those senior officials from this range of South Delhi, of the southern range, are taking their participation so that logical conclusion can be given to the investigation which is being carried out, and all those evidences which are forensic, which can substantiate the claim of the police, can be done. Because the Delhi police already had a big setback 2 weeks back when in the Negi rape and murder case, the Supreme Court has given acquittal, so they don't want to face same kind of fate in this case.
All right, we will have to see if the prosecution is able to build a watertight case. Of course, a lot of evidence that's already there, but the work of the investigators is certainly not very easy. There's a lot that they will have to further prove, including actually getting the weapon with which this gruesome act was carried out. Priyank, thanks so much for getting us the latest as far as the probe is concerned. Let's quickly, in fact, go across to our guests in just a moment now.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
To discuss the legal aspects, I want to quickly go across to our three guests. Joining us, Siddharth Luthra is a senior advocate. Nirmal Kaur is former DGP of Jharkhand. Naveen Chomal, lawyer, is with us. Let me start with you, Mr. Luthra. You've just heard probably what our reporter has been bringing out. Now, in terms of the actual probe, two very significant things. That, A, they were having fights because he was speaking to someone else. Who's that someone else? We don't know. We don't know even if at this stage that is some kind of an alibi that is being given by the accused Aftab. But he has also said that he had certain murderous thoughts a week before. So where does that leave the entire crime of passion argument, and what is the insight that it gives us into the mind of this diabolical killer?
So I think, and I must say this, he's an accused right now. To call him a killer would be absolutely unfair. Secondly, we must also understand that what seems to be bandied about is a confession of the gentleman. A police confession is of very little value unless it leads to a recovery. What is relevant is, and what appears to have been found is, certain body parts which have to be matched to her forensically through DNA testing. The weapon will have to be located, and we will have to locate collateral evidence, whether CCTV or others, and also establish the falsity, if any, of his defense, whether before Bombay police or here, and then we will come to the crime of passion argument.
Right, very, very important point there, that perhaps all of this...
because it's a crime of passion.
Right.
Yeah, one more thing. Let me just add one thing.
Okay, make your point.
Merely because it's a crime of passion doesn't mean it's not murder. And the disposal of the body, if proved, is a separate offense, that destruction of evidence, which has a separate punishment.
Right, very, very important. Let me, in fact, bring in Nirmal Kaur, former DGP Jharkhand. Nirmal Kaur, how do you see this? Because, there's been a lot of speculation whether this was a pre-planned murder, whether this was a murder that took place in the heat of the moment during the course of an argument. On the basis of what's been coming out, how are you looking at what the possibility is? Of course, what will happen in a trial and how difficult the job of the prosecutors will be, of course, is there before us. But certainly the fact that, for instance, some of the weapons like an axe that was used, or a saw rather, has not been found. All of these are going to be very important to prove the unbroken chain of events, which is required in a case of murder, isn't it?
I think it's very obvious that it's a very premeditated, cold-blooded murder. And the way, he calculated, and the way in a very scientific, in a very thorough manner, he carried out disposal of the body, how he neatly cut it up, and how he, disposed it off bit by bit, and also mincing the meat in between so that nothing is found. It is very clear that it's a very very, very premeditated, very cold-blooded crime. So passion doesn't enter anywhere here. Where is love? It's all jihad, as they are saying. I mean, if there was any love, can he do this to a girl? That girl defied everyone to come out with him. Her parents, the society, the normal norms, the traditions. And what did he do to her? And it's very apparent, from the way the friends are talking, that it was a very abusive relationship. And abusive relationships, by their very, they are very addictive. Somehow you live in them, they're addictive. Some psychologists can explain it better, but the abusive relationships are addictive. And, to call it a crime of passion is, it's an insult, adding an insult to an injury. There's no passion here.
All right.
Absolutely.
Naveen Chomal, where is this crime of passion argument coming from? Is there some kind of legal implication it has as far as the case is concerned? Is that perhaps a convenient argument for the accused to make our viewers understand this case better?
Sir, in these cases like circumstantial evidences, based on circumstantial evidences, as Luthra ji has very rightly said, that what will ultimately matter will be the discovery of the evidence. For example, the body parts, the more they are discovered, then the weapon, the saw that was used, that will be there. But apart from that, in the circumstantial evidences matter, Supreme Court have also laid down the concept of custodial death. So that lady, the girl, was in custody of Aftab. So he is bound to explain where she disappeared. And she was last seen together. And ultimately from the DNA test, if her body is discovered or it can be safely presumed to be dead, then he will be answerable for the circumstances last seen together. She was in his house last seen together. So this factor will definitely go against Aftab.
Right.
And whatever defense he may take of passion, that has got no value.
Right.
In fact, that will amount to admission of the crime. At least the victim of the crime will be an admission for it.
Right. Also, one interesting aspect, as you rightly said earlier, Siddharth Luthra, this is as far as the confession itself is concerned, perhaps does not have much evidentiary value. But if the police does find that this was an individual who was, for instance, covering up his tracks by keeping social media account of the victim alive, you know, keeping various accounts alive, we are told, financially speaking, to try and divert attention, will that have its own implication as far as the case is concerned, if there is evidence to the same?
Yeah, so the point is this, that's just one part of deluding or seeking to create a subterfuge so the police don't arrive at the conclusion, and that's going to be part of the circumstances which can be read against him. But you know, one thing I want you to understand, and for your viewers, it is more important today that we live in an electronic world. There is, our mobiles are clear indications to where we are. Our CCTV footage is there. There will be enough evidence, as my colleague Naveen just said, of them being last seen together and then her not being known thereafter. Added to that, as you said, the keeping the account alive, all of these will be factors which will be seen cumulatively to have a chain of circumstances, and that chain, if complete, will and should, as per law, lead to a judgment of conviction and the sentence, because of the brutality in which the body has been done away with, is likely to lead to a death sentence.
All right. So certainly, of course,
but all of this is, as I said, premature and based on what I'm hearing from you.
Well, yes, and of course, it is up to the courts, it is up to the prosecutors, because we've seen what has happened in another case just a few weeks ago, which was before the Supreme Court, and that was in the Chawla case. We certainly hope that the prosecutors do a very thorough job as far as this particular aspect is concerned. So several legal points to be mentioned over here, and several aspects that the prosecutors will have to, in fact, work on as far as this entire case is concerned. Siddharth Luthra, I'd like to thank you for joining us, as well as, in fact, Nirmal Kaur and Naveen Chomal. We have some breaking news coming in at the moment. We're going to cut across live to that. In fact, the Delhi police is going to change the probe attack. This is the information that we have coming in at the moment as far as the Delhi police is concerned. Just going to bring you some more details as far as this aspect is concerned. All right. In fact, get us some details. Priyank, I believe there are high-level meetings that are to be carried on. Take us through what exactly is the possible strategy as far as the police is concerned.
The high-level meeting is going on where the joint city rank officer of the range is taking participation in this particular meeting, because earlier to that there was an additional DCP rank officer who was dealing with the probe. But since today there was no remains of the body which was found, and later to that the suspect is also changing his strategy and statement. That's why senior officials are meeting right now at the Mehrauli police station, and they are trying to sort out the other issues which are very troublesome for them, because at the end of the day they have to come to a conclusion. They want the case to be very watertight, and they don't want to take any kind of chances in this.
All right. Thanks so much, Priyank, for bringing us that update as well. Certainly, of course, the legal aspect is very significant. What will happen as far as this case is concerned is going to be watched out for very closely. But let's quickly turn back to the political aspect of this. There has been a massive political fight raging with the BJP, the Congress and various political parties trading, in fact, blows as far as the love jihad aspect is concerned. Let's go straight across to our political guests, and I thank our panelists for their patience. Sujata Pandey, political analyst, Mithun Vijay Kumar, political analyst, Dr. Anand Ragnathan, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, and Advocate Tala Rashidi of the Rashtriya Ulema Council. Let me start first and foremost with our panelist Sujata Pandey. Sujata Pandey, the opposition says that these demands for love jihad are a clear case of communalizing an issue where there is no communal angle to be read. It's a pure case of a crime. How do you respond to that charge?
Okay, Madhav, just give me 1 minute and I'll read few names, and I would, at the end of it, I would like you to decide that whether there's a angle of love jihad or no. Now that even the father has asked for an investigation from that angle. Nikita Tomar at the age of 21 was killed by Tausif Ahmed. Tanishka Sharma at the age of 20 was killed by Sahil. Neetu 17 was killed by Lai Khan. Nana Kaur at 19 was killed by Sail Khan. Priya Soni 21 was killed by Raj Ahmed. Dina Mishra 32 was killed by Imran. Khushi Parihar at the age of 19 was killed by Ashraf, and now Shraddha at the age of 26 was killed by Abdul Aftab. Now, there is a clear-cut pattern to it. I do not understand that why are we just saying that no, there is no angle of love jihad. Are we the investigating agencies? Are we the police, or are we some CID or something that we know Aftab so closely and so personal that we can be so sure that there is no love jihad angle? Let it be an open case. Let it be, say, what if? Let it be investigated from all the angles. I think a crime needs to be investigated from all the angles. Sure. All this one section of the people are saying that there has been a pattern.
Sujata Pandey, the question that many are asking is that where is the evidence that he was trying to convert her? The allegation is that she wanted to marry him and he was not agreeing. So does that add up really to the typical and conventional understanding of what love jihad is?
No, what
or allegedly is?
Conventional understanding of love jihad. It is about the killing of a Hindu girl by a Muslim man. And how do we know what has happened? How can you believe even the version of this Aftab? Because he looks like a psychotic, killer who's been making stories, and something is not adding up, Madhav. One day he goes to the police and he confesses the entire trail of the events.
Okay.
The way he's planned it. How are you so sure that he's alone plotted this entire thing? How?
Advocate Tala Rashidi.
Advocate Tala
Rashidi. Okay, you made your point. Sujata Pandey says that there's a series of incidents that have taken place in which there have been instances of Hindu girls being killed or attacked by people of a certain faith, and she says she believes that this is in that same series of events that has taken place. No evidence to prove that this is love jihad, but she says this is, according to her definition, let the police investigate and find out if it is or not. Please respond to her. Advocate Tala Rashidi.
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes to respond to her.
Madam, you made your point. I've got your point. Let him respond to you also.
From Now, please let me respond. If she's affected with that prejudice, the prejudice that the right-wing ecosystem is affected with, they are jumping to the conclusion and politicizing and communalizing the matter with love jihad and different other angles, and bringing in the Hindu-Muslim angle to to get some mileage out of it. Now, the other thing, she was talking about a series of murders. I just want to put forward a few facts from my end also. I want an answer from her and all the right-wing panelists here, that there was this girl known by the name of Gulnaz Khatun from Vaishali, Bihar. She was burnt alive by Satish Rai just because she refused to marry him. This girl, minor child Asifa from Kathua, who was gang raped in a religious place, and the right-wing people, rallied in support of her accused. There's this Bilkis Banu case in front of us, wherein she was gang raped. Her 3-year-old daughter was, bashed on a rock and killed, and her killers and her rapists are out on bail. Let me complete. I didn't interrupt you. Now, if I talk about the current murders, on November 1, Rohit Gupta from Delhi killed his girlfriend, although he was married. Now, November 8, Shilpa Jaria was found in a pool of blood in a hotel in Jabalpur, killed by her boyfriend Abhijit, and he's on a run, and he's posting videos on Instagram.
You know, it's
and
unfortunate.
saying that बेवफाई नहीं करने का. Rajesh Gulati, a software engineer, killed his wife Anupama and cut her into 70 pieces in 2010. Now I just want to ask these panelists, what love jihad is that? Which jihad is that?
Okay.
Sushil Sharma burnt Naina Saini in Tandoor. Which love jihad is that? On September 22, Devki Chakresh cut her girlfriend.
I'm going to come in here.
Chakresh was cut.
I'm going to come in here. You've given a number of examples. I want to bring in Anand Raghunathan very quickly before I go across to other panelists. Dr. Anand Raghunathan, where do you stand on this? Because it's a very heated debate. It's a debate that, of course, can inflame passions. I just am simply saying this, that at this point of time, until the investigators or the prosecutors tell us that, yes, this was indeed a case where the facts indicate perhaps that there was some kind of love jihad, is it fair to jump to that conclusion?
Good evening, Madhav. Please give me a couple of minutes. It's a very sensitive matter, and it's been an unspeakable tragedy, and it's a tragedy that has an equal amount of horror attached to it, which makes it even doubly worse. So please give me a couple of minutes. I want to make three very quick points. Number one, can I respectfully be appalled at one of your panelists, the previous, I think the three lawyers that you got in, and severely objects to the statement that she has made. I think she was DGP of Jharkhand, saying that the victim was addicted to an abusive relationship. I think this is appalling, absolutely appalling, this kind of victim blaming that is going on. The physiological or the psychiatric term that perhaps she doesn't know is called trauma bonding. But in this case, we have absolutely no proof that this woman who was butchered like this was a victim of this trauma bonding. So without any evidence for a woman to blame the victim, saying that she was addicted, this was the word that you addicted to abusive relationship, is absolutely appalling, and I'm sure you would also condemn it like other fellow panelists would. Number two, it is not for us to judge whether there is a communal angle to this horrible crime as yet, because the investigations have just begun. Secondly, and more importantly, Madhav, and here I require a minute because it's very sensitive matter, the father who has suffered the most, the father of the dead girl. Now, I cannot even begin to imagine what he is going through, and I'm not even, I cannot be going through even a fraction of what, or understanding. My level of understanding of what has happened is not even a fraction of what his level of understanding is. Now, if he is saying that the angle of love jihad should be investigated, the police should come in and investigate. But according to my understanding, I'm just saying this, so I'm not disagreeing with the father at all. It is not for me, especially at this painful juncture, to be arguing of all people with the bereaved. But according to me, love jihad is impersonating someone else's religion for the purposes of entrapping a woman or coercing her to change her religion for the purposes of marriage or for living out a peaceful married life. Now, all these three are criminal offenses, and according to me, a love jihad. Did they happen here? I don't know. It is for the police to investigate. But certainly, according to my limited understanding, the person Aftab, who's the murderer, horrible person, he did not impersonate or did not come across as a Hindu in front of the woman to marry her or to have a live-in relationship with her. That said, finally, all those people who are now saying that it might be love jihad or might not be, have for the past years, in fact for a decade, been dismissive of this occurrence, which is love jihad, because of their motive and agenda. They refuse to listen to the Kerala High Court that said you must investigate this practice of love jihad. They refuse to listen to the church, to the Christians who are suffering this love jihad. But the moment something like this comes out, they are the first ones to deny it. So let me also tell you the fact. What matters is, does love jihad happen?
Right.
The answer is emphatically yes, and by the hundreds and with alarming regularity, Madhav.
Okay.
Swati Goel Sharma, who's a journalist, just 10 seconds, and befitting facts, have been meticulously collating all these instances. Now, I give you one example from Bihar, chilling report from Bihar just a few months ago. A man named Mohammad Rahim impersonated himself as Arjun and lured a Dalit woman into a relationship with the promise of marriage. After they engaged in a physical relationship, Arjun reverted to Rahim and told her he won't marry unless she converts. Now shouldn't, I ask you, and all the panelists, shouldn't the Dalit woman get justice? It's a simple question.
Okay. Absolutely, it's a very fair question as well, but let me take that question across to Mithun Vijay Kumar, political analyst. Mithun Vijay Kumar, you have Dr. Anand Raghunathan, who himself says that he's not denying the existence of love jihad, but in this particular case, he's saying, let's wait. The father may have demanded it, but until the evidence comes up through the course of the required investigation, can we jump to that conclusion? Mithun Vijay Kumar.
See, Madhav, it is Shraddha's father who suspects a love jihad angle in this, and I think he knows better than any of us what his child has gone through. So let's not ignore his concerns of a jihadi activity in this relationship. And when plenty of cases, just like how Ranganathan sir and the previous BJP panelist quoted the issues of love jihad in this country, have been reported, and when the murderer itself has planned it in a way no normal human being can do, then how is it possible to ignore the love jihad angle in this relationship? See, none of us know the relationship dynamics of Shraddha and the killer, but there could be only one logical conclusion based on the statements of the killer and her friends. I was listening to some of the interviews of her friends. The killer says she was forced. She forced him to marry her, and that's the reason he chopped her into 35 pieces. But her friends say that she wanted to end this relationship because it was a toxic one. Now, how is it possible that she wanted to marry him, but at the same time she wanted to leave him? So it's clear that there was, she was being forced into doing something which she didn't want to, just to fulfill the, for the sake of the marriage. So I doubt there is a jihadi activity in this, and there is a jihadi angle in this. And the killer who has masterminded this act in the most unbelievable manner is cooking up stories after stories, and even he has come up with various versions. Now, even Shraddha's family has said that for the sake of her happiness, they had even approached the killer's family with a proposal of marriage, and his family, denied the proposal, and because they citing religious reasons. Now, the only condition she might have had to satisfy was to convert in order to convince him and his family, which she didn't do, and it ended up in this. And we have seen many cases like this. We have plenty of cases. We have the case of Nimisha Fatima, who was forced into,
Let me bring in Kamruzaman Chaudhary on that. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, the love jihad angle is of course the entire backdrop of today's political debate, but there's also another aspect that I want to draw the attention of our viewers to. Yesterday, when we spoke to a Congress leader, Alka Lamba, and we asked her why top leaders of the Congress are not coming out. Yes, today Jairam Ramesh has put out a statement. She said that Priyanka Gandhi is neither the Home Minister, nor the Prime Minister, nor the Delhi Chief Minister. But the fact is, 36 hours later, top Congress leaders have not commented on this. Apart from Mr. Ramesh, I don't think many of the top leaders have even come out and strongly condemned or expressed their opinion on this. Why is that the case, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary?
No, the basic point out here is that the way you are trying to divert this entire debate, why has the Congress party top leaders not debated or not criticized this? As a congressman, I want Aftab to be encountered like the killers and rapists of Priyanka Reddy in Hyderabad. Is the government ready to do it? If the law of the land permits, let us kill this Aftab.
This is shocking.
No, let's not go for a.
Nothing got to
no, let's not make. No, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, please.
No, the law
let's not discuss extra legal or extra constitutional. No one here is justifying any kind of extra constitutional legal. Whatever has happened, and I've been very clear about this, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, I have questioned all to say until there is evidence of love jihad, it is irresponsible, and I think you also being irresponsible when you are suggesting this kind of an extra constitutional attempt at justice. This is not a banana republic. Our justice system, for all its faults, is something that we all have faith in as citizens. But let's not come out and make this kind of statement, Kamruzaman Chaudhary. I'm going to allow Anand Raghunathan to rebut you on that point.
Yes,
Dr. Anand Raghunathan.
I want to come in here. I always have high regard for Mr. Chaudhary, but I'm absolutely shocked and appalled by his statement that this person needs to be encountered. He is a member, a polity. He belongs to the member of law. For him to actually condone extrajudicial steps like encountering on live television, I'm sorry, has to be condemned unequivocally, Madhav. We can't allow this to happen.
Mr. Chaudhary, would you like to apologize and withdraw your statement? Because I think that's what a responsible spokesperson should do.
No, the point, the Madhavan, I said if the law of the land permits, the law of the land does not permit.
No, you did not say that. I'm sorry.
Then does the law of the land...
You don't know the law of the land, sir.
You did not say that.
You do not know the law of the land.
The angle that you are trying to bring out here, the Hindutva ecosystem. Hindutva ecosystem is trying to bring the love jihad angle out here.
Please apologize for demanding an encounter for...
Mr. Chaudhary.
Stereotyping a particular section of the community. Will that retired DCP who said there is a love jihad angle, will the BJP spokesperson Sujata...
Mr. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, I am giving you a chance to withdraw your comment. I am giving you a chance to withdraw your comment. I asked you a very simple question on the basis of comments that were made by our own party's leader. If you don't have an answer, please do not come out and make these kind of outrageous claims on national television, because I think all you are doing is going to further inflame passions on a very sensitive subject. Whether there is proof, whether there is no proof is an entirely different matter. Why don't you just apologize for your comment, Mr. Chaudhary, and move along?
Now, why these communal bigots in your panel bringing in the love jihad angle out here? Why did
is the father a communal bigot, sir? Is the father of the girl, is the father of the victim a communal bigot in your view?
That is it. No, the father is going through what emotions you and I will not understand. The person goes through.
So when he is saying the very fact, when he is also saying this, that should be probed, he is saying what should be probed.
Who gave you the right?
Nobody is giving anyone the right.
Give you that right? No. Then you must apologize to the nation.
For what?
For bringing in the love jihad angle in a national
television. Sir, it is the father who has spoken to the media today saying so. My God, Mr. Chaudhary, this is shocking. Here you are demanding an encounter for the perpetrator of this crime, something that is completely unconstitutional and illegal. And I don't think we can even carry on this debate, Mr. Chaudhary, because this is highly responsible of a person of your stature and of your experience. I want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan to counter all of these points, because Dr. Ranganathan, it's very shocking that, offense is the best form of defense, some say. But what Mr. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary is saying today is far beyond offensive as well. It's illegal, downright.
Absolutely, and far from apologizing, I am so shocked that the erudite Mr. Chaudhary has said that he did not even say it. So can I please, in the interest of your viewers, can you please replay what he said exactly and then demand an apology? Because I'm sorry, on live television, a member of the polity of a responsible party cannot demand an encounter.
Absolutely, and Anand Ranganathan, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't want to replay such controversial comments again. I just want to quickly go across to some of our other panelists. And Tala Rashidi, I hope you will also unequivocally condemn what the other panelists just said in terms of demanding an encounter. End of the day, you're a lawyer, sir. We all believe in our legal and judicial system, and we have to retain that faith and hope that the prosecutors do their job to the best of their abilities.
Exactly, anything that's extrajudicial should be condemned, but at the same time we should put our focus on getting justice to our sister, to Shraddha, to her family, instead of politicizing and communalizing the matter, instead of beating the bush around issues that have no impact to the case. We should demand a fast-track court case in this matter. We should demand a fast investigation in this matter. We should demand for capital punishment to the killer, to the accused killer rather.
Okay.
But at the same time, we need to understand that instead of politicizing this matter, instead of communalizing this matter, this will only, bring shame to the matter. Okay.
Sujata Pandey, your name was taken several times during the course of the debate. I couldn't come to you earlier. Your response to all of those queries that were raised.
So first thing is to Congress, it's easy to say that Congress, Priyanka Gandhi is not the Home Minister or the Chief Minister or the Prime Minister. So why should she comment on this particular case? Was she a Home Minister, Chief Minister, Prime Minister when Kathua happened? Or was she holding some important official position when Hathras happened? Why did Rahul Gandhi make that sweeping comment on the Hindus that Hindu to mandiron mein ladkiyon ko chhedne jate hain? Why did that entire campaign, of not in my name and I'm ashamed to be an Hindu ran? Why did that entire placard campaign was supported by the left lobby and including Congress Party and their leaders? Why I'm just asking one question.
Look at the sick nature of their polity out here. Now Anandji will not object to this.
I just want to say this, that any crime, all of these crimes are equally shocking. We cannot perhaps compare crimes, but the fact is that this is as gruesome as it gets over here in the heart of the national capital. The manner in which the evidence was sought to be, buried, the way in which the body was brutally chopped up, all attempts at cover-up. There's so many sordid angles that are coming out day by day, hour by hour, that has completely shocked all of us. There have been several shocking incidents that may have taken place. Perhaps comparisons are fair or they are not fair. The only point is this, that we should all be coming out and unequivocally as citizens speaking out against this brutality, because the unfortunate reality is, despite the outrage after Nirbhaya, despite the criminal amendment acts that our parliaments have enacted, attitudes have remained exactly the same, which have enabled such individuals to carry out these kind of heinous acts. I'd like to thank all our panelists for joining us on debate number 1.